Hello and welcome back to Irish Chippy channel. My name is Pascal. In another video I done a review on the 1Zpresso JX Pro, which I use every day. I love this grinder, but it has to be cleaned, a deep clean every now and again, especially if you're using fresh beans. And it's cleaned with nothing. It's cleaned with nothing, only a rag or brush or something. You don't put any lubricant on it, nothing. And I will show you how I disassembled this and how I calibrated it as well. So the first thing we're going to do to clean it is we're going to disassemble it, and I will show you how. We will take off the coffee holder in the bottom. See, they get very, even when you clean it with the brush, they get very dusty from time to time. There's a piece of a bean coming out. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to unlock this screw here. And we turn that anti-clockwise or counter-clockwise. This one here, the outside ring, right? And just keep turning it. Now this is I'm not saying it's a trick, I'm not the only one to do this. Our calibration screw is this knurled one, as they call it here. That's the calibration. So when we're going to calibrate later on, we have to have that. There's a little depression and a little impression that it clicks into place. But when I'm calibrating this one from 0, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to see how many clockwise clicks are. So click, 3 click, 4 click, 5 click, 6 click, 7 click, 8 click. I'm 8 clicks. So that's my calibration, I think, right? I may be wrong, I may be 1 click off. So now we just remember that number. So I'm 8 clicks. So I will have, that's tight now, right? So the grinder is tight now. So when I reassemble it, I will tighten this and then go back 8, if you understand. So I know I've gone 8 clicks there. I'm not sure if it's 7. I got it wrong maybe. So now I'm going to remove this screw. While you're doing this, put your finger on the bottom of the grinder and it takes pressure off the spring. And so what you're doing is when you're removing anything, when you're assembling anything you take your pieces out, you make sure you put them what direction you are. So this is up. And this is the end, so I will go to here with the end. So I'll put this screw down here, and then that's a piece of coffee. And then I will take the calibration screw and I will put it there. And it will be facing that direction. Don't worry, you can get the manual on 1Zpresso site if you want to. So now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drop this piece, okay? Now, there is a little notch here on the top of this washer. That's how you know that this is the top. I will see. And this one is perfectly flat. But as we are keeping everything face up, and this is the top, we will do it like that. The spring is like this. The spring is narrow on the end towards the burl. And then we will remove the bearing and the place with the dimples in it. So this one, it's a D shape. It's D because it holds the grinder setting, and that's for the calibration. That is the bearing, and that is our outside flange screw. And this is, now what we can do is you can also take this top off, but this is counterclockwise, so it's a left-hand thread, as to say. So in order to open this one, we will turn it clockwise. So we'll turn this clockwise. You can use that to take off the rubber band as well. So now that's as much as you are allowed to take apart. Do not attempt to take out this bearing here. They already tell you that. And do not attempt to separate this from this. Okay? So then the next thing you do is you clean everything. So you can use a rag, you can use your brush, but you can use a toothbrush as well. So you clean everything as best you can, not as best you can. Now, at this point, I'm going to tell you something. You do not put any lubrication on this. Not anything. Not any sort of oil. Not cooking oil. I saw somebody put on WD-40 on this. And that is, it's not food safe. Number 2, it will stick to the... Number 2, the coffee will stick to it. You put nothing on it. It is food safe stainless steel, and the burr is stainless steel too, and everything is meant to be dry. The bearing is a seal bearing. This bearing is seal bearing, and this bearing is seal bearing. So you do not put oil, cooking oil or any oil, nothing. It's not meant to be lubricated at all. And so that's an important point, because you may have seen some other videos. There are a couple of other videos where people are putting on oil on them, and they are misleading people. And I can assure you, I spoke to 1Zpresso, and they says no lubrication whatsoever. In the manual it says the same. So this cleans up easy with just a rag or a nice soft towel. And when you have that piece done, then you go on, move on to the next part, and you clean them. So when you're cleaning something, you just clean it and put it back in position. That's good practice with taking anything apart that you don't have a diagram of. But we have a diagram of this, so we're fine. In here, you need to clean the burrs in here. You get your brush. If you're using very fresh coffee like I am, like mine is, I'm getting it like 4 days after it's roasted, and it can be a little bit more oily. Now that we have everything nice and clean, I didn't take the rubber off this. I didn't need to. You can take the rubber off this when you have this part off. So the first thing you do is you put this back on. Remember, to put it back on, you have to turn it counterclockwise. And so we'll put that on first. And then we will put the drive shaft in, as we say. We'll put the burr in. So remember, we have our burr here. So if you want to remember what order things, if you forget what it is, I will tell you. Narrower part of the spring goes down. You remember that from last time. And when we're putting this back on, the flat part goes down, and the piece with the thing there goes up, like that. So then we will just push this in here into the bearing, nice and gently. There's nothing exciting to do there. There's a spring resistance on it then. So then we put this piece in, the threaded piece in. We put it with the narrower end down on the center so that it holds the spring, or holds the bearing, I should say. And then we put the bearing in there like that. And then we'll put our D piece in. This is our one with our little depressions on it for calibration. As you see, the dimples are facing up, so that will calibrate with this one, okay? So as I'm doing this, I am holding the burr up on the bottom and putting it into the spring. So the next thing I'll do is I will tighten this the whole way, right? I have tightened this, what they call the calibration screw, and now I'm going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, it didn't work for me the first time, but I'm hoping it will work for me this time. So now I'm going to put on the dial-in screw, clockwise as well. And we are hoping that we will be on 0 when it's tight. If not, we have to open it again. You keep a little bit of pressure on the bottom. Now I'm on 1, so I'm the wrong amount of notches. So I'm going to have to take this off again. As you see, I'm on 1. So I must have miscalculated. So now I'm going to move this one to the left. That's it. And then we should be on 0 when this one goes in. And now, as you see, that is tight now. You know, I'm not going to grind them, but that is tight. That won't turn. The grinders are tight, and we are on exactly on 0. So this trick does work. It's just that I counted them wrong and I thought I was 1 out. But it's much, if you're only 1 out, you're fine. So that is my grinder cleaned. And so then you reset it back to whatever your coffee, whatever type of coffee you're using. If it's espresso, it's going to be 1 turn and 1.3. So you're going to go 1 full circle and then maybe 1.3 or whatever like that. There we go. We have our grinder back like brand new again, and it takes, if you do it, it takes only 5 minutes to do it, and you'll do it after about every 1 kilo I would do it for. If you like this video or any of our other videos, please subscribe to our channel, and thank you for watching.